things we try to do here at the Florida Aquarium is inspire stewardship, educate our guests, and one of the best ways to do that is to provide immersive experiences. And by touching animals here, you get to really get a hands-on learning opportunity, something that you don't normally get to do. The Florida Aquarium has 3 touch tanks. One behind me is the Horseshoe Crab Lagoon. You can touch horseshoe crabs. We have an opportunity for you to touch stingrays in our Stingray Beach, as well as our no bone zone, where you get to touch animals that have no bones. Horseshoe Crab Lagoon is fairly new to the Florida Aquarium. It replaced our Stingray Touch Tank, which has moved upstairs to Stingray Beach. But one of the things that's really unique about it is you have the opportunity to touch and meet horseshoe crabs. We have educators here on staff that can tell you more about these really unique animals that you can see in Tampa Bay, but you get to touch them, learn more about them, and what makes them so unique. We take very seriously the health of our animals, so any touch tank that you have, we have opportunities for the animals to leave and go away if they don't want to be interacted with. But for a lot of the animals, touching is a form of enrichment for them. It's an opportunity for them to enrich their environment, so it's a win-win for the animals and for the guests. So any animal that you get to touch and interact with here has safety precautions in place. So our horseshoe crabs are very, very familiar with being touched and interact with. We trim the barbs at Stingray Beach so that you don't have to worry about being stung by one of the stingrays. It's not harmful to the animals, and it helps keep our guests safe. One of the things the Florida Aquarium strives to do is to have immersive experiences for anyone who visits. Things like our touch tanks are a great way for guests to get up-close experiences with our animals. We also offer opportunities like our Penguins Backstage Pass, which is a personal favorite of mine, where you get to come face to beak with some of our favorite animals. You get to touch them, watch them swim, and see them in their home. We also have opportunities for guests to actually become part of the exhibit. You can snorkel, you can dive with our sharks, and you can meet some of the animals in our coral reef gallery. Really unique opportunity for you to get up close and personal with the things that you get to see behind the glass. And now we have a surprise for you. I'm going to take you behind the scenes at the Florida Aquarium. Now we're behind the scenes at our Penguins Backstage Pass with one of our biologists, Megan Gentry. Megan's here with one of our friends, Pebbles the Penguin. Can you tell us a little bit about Pebbles?
So Pebbles is one of our 12 African black-footed penguins. We have some living behind the scenes for our backstage passes and our outreach penguins, but we do have some on exhibit as well that you can see on our wetlands trail.
And Penguin Point.
Yeah, at Penguin Point.
So tell us a little bit about what people can expect to see when they come behind the scenes as part of the Penguin Backstage Pass.
So when they come behind the scenes, they'll see our entire colony of penguins. They get a chance to meet and greet with them. They get to touch them. They get to see them swimming, get to see them eat, which is really very cool.
And a lot of people, I think, are surprised when they come back here, and it's not as cold as you would think it is.
No, these guys, they are native to South Africa and Namibia, so they're living in warmer climates. It's actually pretty similar to here in Florida, the climate that they would experience out in the wilds, but they are very warm-weathered, and not all penguin species do live where it is cold.
And I know a lot of them have these bands on the right-hand side.
Yeah, so you can see Pebbles has the purple bracelet there. Each one of our penguins has a different color bracelet. That makes it really easy for guests, members who come back to see them, or really people that just don't get a chance to see them that often to identify which one it is.
Right.
We do know them by their personalities, though, the way they look, sometimes even the way they sound. They do make a very unique sound as well, that is braying. They are known as beach donkeys, so they bray like a donkey.
Very nice. So something a lot of people don't know are these penguins are actually endangered. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the African penguin, as well as many other penguin species, a lot of the ones that kind of commingle with humans, they're getting a lot of devastation to their populations just because of overfishing, habitat loss, and pollution. So they do have to deal with a lot of that. Right now, there's only 5% of the population of the African penguin that existed 100 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's only about 50,000 right now.
Wow, so they are critically endangered.
Yeah, they are pretty well endangered, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Several times a year, we fundraise for our African penguin partners over in South Africa, an organization called SANCOB that really helps really conserve the African penguin populations, not just penguins though, it's really a lot of coastal birds. So we fundraise for them. We do have penguin days, which are really fun. We do extra backstage passes, so try and get more people back here, but a lot of penguin activities all together. And then of course profiting and sending over donations to SandCobb to really help them out.
Megan, thank you so much for taking the time to show us behind the scenes and give us an inside look into penguins like Pebbles.
Of course.
And thank you all for coming out, meeting Pebbles, and seeing some of our immersive experiences here at the Florida Aquarium.